Hello, everyone. My name is Matt Arant from Arant Academic Planning, and this is another installment of our virtual information session series in which I'm joined by admission representatives from schools all across the United States, Canada, and Europe. These schools represent a wide variety of options for you and your family to consider as you begin the college search process, from liberal arts colleges to research universities, women's colleges, religiously affiliated schools, and everything in between. And today I'm joined by Chris Perlongo from the University of Vermont. Take it away, Chris.
Awesome. Thank you, Matt. Thanks for being here. Appreciate it. Hello, everyone. My name is Chris Perlongo. I'm the Director of Admissions at the University of Vermont. I do our strategic recruitment initiatives here. Super excited for you to be joining us, and thank you for your interest in UVM. And with that, we'll get started. So first, as mentioned, there's all my contact information, and please feel free to reach out anytime you wish. We're happy to help. One of the best parts about my job is just working with students and families. Been doing this for quite some time. It's my 25th year in higher education. I've been fortunate to be affiliated with some institutions, including American University, NYU, Fordham, and the last 7 years here at UVM, where I'm also a student. So students, I know what you're going through applying to college. I'm doing my doctoral work here at UVM. So like I said, it's an exciting process, but also I know an intimidating one. So again, we're happy to help. Please feel free to grab my email and reach out anytime we can be of assistance to you. So first, some news for us here at UVM. Last year, Dr. Marlene Trump became UVM's 28th president. She brings with her a proven track record of leadership at major public institutions. She was previously at Boise State University, where she advanced the graduation rates, research funding, and access while strengthening industry and community partnerships. Her leadership has helped guide UVM as a Vermont State flagship land grant university. We're super excited to have her on campus. She's had a palpable impact and just the energy and enthusiasm. So 1 year in has been really great. This past winter, also exciting news for us as well. UVM earned the R1 designation from the Carnegie classification, placing us among the top tier of research institutions around the country. Less than 3% of US colleges and universities are R1 institutions, and UVM is proud to be one of them. We also invest in our distinctive undergraduate programs. Our STEM Scholars Leading Change program supports students interested in leadership and inclusive excellence in STEM through research, mentorship, and a summer bridge experience. Those students just moved on campus last week from, I believe, over 15 different states and a couple different countries as well. So we're excited to have them here. A similar program is our Liberal Arts Scholars program as well, LASP. It offers a small cohort experience that connects students to research, internships, and fellowships. A couple other notes, students can take on research before even arriving at campus through initiatives like Vermont Pitch, which is our international competition for high school students focused on entrepreneurship. And exciting thing, lastly, we recently received a $15 million gift from the Grossman Family Foundation to launch a new undergraduate business co-op program, which just expands students for hands-on experience and industry connections around the world. So altogether, these efforts reflect UVM's commitment to academic rigor, experiential learning, and real-world impact. So a couple of notes on rankings. We're excited. I don't place everything on rankings, but these are a couple of good ones for us. We were recently ranked the best school for making an impact by the Princeton Review. Just represents strong commitment to community engagement, sustainability, and civic leadership. Best value schools by U.S. News and World Report. Highlights UVM's strong return on investment through academic quality, student support, and career outcomes. And a few others here, Best Honors College, Best Schools for Financial Aid, Top 50 Green College. Being green, as you'll soon see, is one of our big ethos here at UVM. And also, I like this one, 21 for friendliest students. We have amazing students from around the world, as you'll see shortly. And I love them being on campus just because they bring an energy and just a culture to our community that's frankly unparalleled. So we hope you'll come up and see them and meet them as well. All right, so now for us in terms of UVM and who we are, as mentioned for People and Planet, that green initiative is a big part of who we are. We'll get there, but we've been around since 1791. UVM is actually one of the oldest universities in the United States, and our history is rooted in clear purpose. We prepared students with knowledge, skills, and perspective to make a meaningful impact in their communities and careers since that time. The phrase for People and Planet represents UVM's leadership in sustainability and interdisciplinary research, encouraging students to apply education to real-world challenges. And our location, that beautiful setting in Burlington, you see Lake Champlain on the screen, it brings that mission to life. Lake Champlain and the Green Mountains serve as living laboratories for research in environmental science, health, and sustainability, while Burlington is immediately accessible to campus and offers internships, community partnerships, and a vibrant downtown local culture. So take that collaborative campus environment, a strong faculty mentorship program. Our students are able to connect with classroom learning with real world exploration in every facet. They're often described, I know a common question is, describe a UVM student as intellectually curious, socially aware, they're interested in the environment and social impact, they're collaborative, better than hyper competitive, and lastly, they're engaged on hands-on experiential learning. Now, we're a bit different from most state flagship schools in that nearly three-quarters of our students come from outside the state of Vermont. We're home to about 11,000 undergraduate students from around the world, and we have a smaller undergraduate population than many flagships. It creates a more intimate, close-knit campus environment, more often described as big opportunities with a small school feel. And because Vermont is a small state, our in-state and out-of-state enrollment looks a little bit different, as I mentioned before. There are about 5,600 graduating seniors in the whole state of Vermont, with roughly about 60% college bound. And nearly 80% of the students applied to UVM last year. So we're happy to have our Vermont residents here. We want more of them, but also we wouldn't be who we are without students from around the world. So we enroll students from all 14 counties of Vermont, including some of the state's top graduates, but also 47 different states and 40 different countries. So for us, that creates a campus that blends the accessibility of a public flagship with the reach and diversity of a national and global student body. Now, our academic structure allows students to pursue specialized programs in distinct schools and colleges while benefiting from the interdisciplinary collaboration of a smaller research university. Students will begin via direct admission in one of our 7 schools and colleges and are encouraged to explore across disciplines, especially in your first year, as you look at your academic direction and kind of figure out what you want to do. The College of Arts and Science is our biggest undergraduate school, and it offers majors across humanities, social sciences, natural sciences, including biology, neuroscience, environmental studies, political science, and psychology. The Grossman School of Business has an emphasis on responsible leadership and sustainable business, with strong entrepreneurial learning through internships, consulting, and entrepreneurship. Our College of Engineering and Math Sciences focuses on engineering, computer science, and data science, with an emphasis on applied learning and research. The Rubenstein School of Environment and Natural Resources is nationally recognized for environmental studies, integrating science policy and field-based learning. And our College of Agriculture and Life Science connects food systems, nutrition, environmental science, and sustainable agriculture, reflecting UVM's land grant mission. Education and Social Services prepares students for careers in education, social work, and human development through community-engaged learning. And lastly, our College of Nursing and Health Sciences offers programs in nursing and health-related fields with access to clinical experiences to the University of Vermont Medical Center, which is located right on campus. So as mentioned, you'll apply directly to a school or college, and students who apply as undecided will have to end their sophomore year to declare a major. And lastly, our Patrick Leahy Honors College offers a close-knit intellectual community with small seminars, faculty mentorship, a senior thesis, and up to $2,000 in various funding for opportunities like research, internships, and study abroad. So we'll get to the application process a bit later, but if you're interested in honors college, think of it as almost a smaller college within the large university field. Now, as mentioned before, again, we're on the smaller side of R1 schools go. So for UVM faculty, that means active research with strong commitment to undergraduate teaching and creates opportunities for students to have meaningful relationships and research early in your academic career. We have something called the teacher-scholar model, which means faculty are advancing knowledge in their fields and mentoring students in the classroom, lab, and in their placements. UVM received more than $260 million in sponsored research funding just last year, reflecting the strength of our work. And our undergraduates outnumber graduate students roughly 7-1. So students have meaningful access to faculty, research, and mentorship, again, beginning in the first year and beyond. And nearly all classes are taught by faculty who bring their research in the classroom and invite students to collaborate on labs, field work, and applied projects. Faculty also work across disciplines, particularly in areas like sustainability, health, global studies, and public policy, giving students exposure to complex real-world problem solving. Now, UVM is ranked by the National Science Foundation among the top 100 research universities, with recent investments expanding spaces where learning and discovery take place. In recent years, the university has opened a new STEM complex, enhanced arts facilities, and expanded the Grossman School of Business and the main library, also adding new residence hall for first-year students. As mentioned, our students are actively engaged in research, often beginning first or second year, or in this case, before they even get here for STEM scholars during the summer. You can do lab work, clinical experiences at the University of Vermont Medical Center, and field-based learning across Vermont's environment, agriculture, and sustainability initiatives. UVM is also home to Deep Green, which you see in the top right corner there. It's one of the most powerful and academic supercomputers in the country, supporting work in areas like artificial intelligence and human-robot interaction. And partnerships with the community, like the Vermont Gallium Nitride Tech Hub, developed with Global Foundries in the state of Vermont through a $24 million federal award, connects students to cutting-edge research and innovation. All these things together create an investment in campus environment where students can engage directly in discovery and real-world problem solving. Now, the Catamount experience reflects UVM's strong commitment to experiential learning. More than 90% of our students participate in research, undergraduate internships, service learning, study abroad, and other hands-on opportunities that connect academics to real-world experience. Students often work alongside faculty on research in areas such as biological science, neuroscience, environmental fieldwork, and data-driven projects in business or public policy. Partnerships across the region, including with UVM Medical, provide access to internships, clinical shadowing, and applied learning in healthcare, technology, business, and nonprofit organizations. And our learning usually extends beyond the classroom, with ecological research in Vermont's natural environments to community-based work to local organizations and food systems. These opportunities are supported by campus resources like our Career Center, our Office for International Education for Study Abroad, our FOR office, which is our faculty mentors and academic advisors, making it easy for students to integrate experiential learning into their academic path, regardless of what it is. Now, for us, our learning extends beyond the classroom and into the residential experience. All first and second year students live in learning communities on campus, where you're a group of students who share academic interests or passions, and it helps you build connection and purpose early in the college experience that research shows leads to retention and persistence to graduation. These learning communities are centered on themes like sustainability, global studies, innovation entrepreneurship, outdoor leadership, and they connect classroom learning with co-curricular experiences while fostering relationships with faculty and peers. What will happen is, if you decide to enroll at UVM, you will rank your top 3 learning communities, and most students are placed in one of their top 2 choices. We guarantee on-campus housing for the first 2 years and then offer on-campus housing thereafter. Though many students, especially juniors and seniors, will decide to live in nearby Burlington. And on-campus housing does remain available, including unit communities like Catamount East and University Commons. Now, as a first generation of college students, this might be my favorite slide because UVM is committed to building a community where students feel supported, respected, and connected. At the center of that culture is our common ground. It's the university's shared values framework focused on respect, integrity, innovation, openness, justice, and responsibility. I know a common question is name your favorite tradition, and one of our best ones at UVM is where new students take part in a candlelight ceremony on the university green. It's that middle picture you see there, pledging to uphold community values. And this commitment is reflected across campus and in the curriculum, with a strong emphasis on intercultural excellence, encouraging students to engage with diverse perspectives through academics, dialogue, and community-based experiences. Campus spaces like the UVM Mosaic Center and other identity-based centers help support cultural programming, leadership development, and opportunities for students to build community and engage across differences. And yes, when you come to UVM, get involved. Our students are highly engaged both inside and outside the classroom. You'll see strong Catamount pride everywhere across campus, from 18 different Division I athletics teams to more than 275 clubs and organizations. Some highlights include the UVM Outing Club, the Alternative Racing Energy Organization, Feel Good, a student-run enterprise raising funds and awareness for local hunger, the Water Tower, which is a student-run publication covering campus news and culture, and our club sports with more than 60 different teams in sports like rugby, rowing, skiing, and ultimate frisbee. And beyond campus, Vermont Green Football Club has become a hugely popular summer draw in Burlington. The men's and women's teams draw crowds of over 4,000 people. On the weekends, they just finished this past weekend with their last playoff game, reflecting the city's community spirit and focus on sustainability. So whether it's performing, competing, creating, or leading, our students at UVM find many ways to get involved and build leadership skills. As mentioned, that's one of the reasons why UVM is ranked #1 among public universities for best schools making an impact, recognizing just how students contribute to their campus and their communities, both here on campus and in Burlington. And speaking of Burlington, we are consistently ranked one of the best college towns in the US, offering a rare combination of vibrant downtown, lakefront setting, and easy access to the mountains. And it's all within minutes of campus. Some of the highlights include, as you see on the screen before you, it's a super walkable college town. The University of Vermont campus is located in Vermont's largest city with Church Street Marketplace that you see on the screen in front of you, just about a 10-minute walk from campus. Lake Champlain is one of the largest freshwater lakes in the United States, where students have direct access to waterfront parks, sailing, kayaking, and views of the Adirondacks. You'll see this 22-mile bike path that runs right along the shore as well. You'll see me on there in the morning if you get up early enough. It's an incredibly lively local culture with restaurants, coffee shops, live music, farmers markets, and festivals, and all sorts of outdoor access year round. The Green Mountains are a short drive away, some of the best skiing on the East Coast, hiking this time of year, biking, outdoor recreation, pretty much anytime you wish. And Burlington is also highly accessible no matter where you're coming from. The airport's about 3 miles from campus with direct flights from 18 different major cities, including New York, Chicago, Washington, D.C., Atlanta, and Denver. Amtrak also provides service to New York City, and Montreal is about 90 minutes away. So you can do a study abroad in a weekend if you choose to do so. Yeah, Burlington does very much offer the best of both worlds, a dynamic college town and an exceptional natural environment. And of course, where does this all go? Our experiential learning and career readiness helps students translate their academic experience into meaningful careers and advanced study after graduation. 94% of our graduates are employed, continuing their education, or engaged in service learning within 6 months of graduation. They pursue careers in a variety of fields, such as healthcare, environmental sustainability, technology, business, education, and public service. And our alumni go on to top graduate programs at places such as Yale, Johns Hopkins, Harvard, as well as careers with nationally known companies, nonprofits, and government organizations. Many students continue on to graduate professional programs in areas such as medicine, law, public health, and environmental policy. Equally important, our graduates tell us that they feel confident about where they've gone. 95% report being satisfied with their career choices and say their current role aligns with their long-term goals. So wherever our UVM graduates land, they're finding success and they're finding meaningful work that meets their aspirations. And lastly, how does this whole thing work from the application process? We use a holistic review that considers academic preparation alongside personal engagement and context. We focus on the strength of the courses students choose and the grade trends on that transcript. We also review letters of recommendation, extracurricular involvement, and the common application essay. UVM is test optional. Students who choose to submit test scores can self-report them in the application, and it's completely up to you. We will look at you either way in a complete, holistic, and fair review. You can apply either using the Common App or the Coalition application, both of which open on August 1st. Our first deadlines for November 1 for early decision and early action. And then we have our notifications in December for early decision 1 and early action. So again, you apply by November 1st. You'll hear from us by early December for early decision and mid-December for early action, along with your financial aid awards. We also have early decision 2 and regular decision, which both deadlines are due on January 15th. And you'll hear from us in February in both cases. If there are any transfer students out there, we will have a June 1st deadline for the fall and November 1st for spring transfer. And as I mentioned before, the application for admission is also used to consider you for merit scholarships and invitations to the Patrick Leahy Honors College, regardless of whether or not you submit test scores. We'll consider you the same way. And we also recognize that education is a significant investment, which is why 93% of our students receive some form of financial aid or scholarship support from UVM. And merit scholarships are available for Vermont, out-of-state, international, and transfer students. And for need-based financial aid, we only require the FAFSA, no CSS profile as part of that. And I think that is all I have for us today. So I will stop sharing. And Matt, if you jump back on, I think we're good to go.
Perfect. Thanks, Chris. A lot of great information. So I guess we'll start with just the last slide you had about the everyone's automatically considered for scholarships as well as invitation to the Honors College. So is there not a separate supplement for those students wanting to go to the Honors College, maybe like a writing piece or a resume, or is everyone just being evaluated for UVM, but then the stellar students are kind of placed in that potential Honors College cohort?
As of right now, and again, pre-August 1, we're always inclined to kind of reconfigure and see what we're going to look at. But as of right now, when you apply to University of Vermont, on the supplement, you'll see a do I want to be considered for the Honors College checkbox. Simple as
Okay.
that. If you want to be considered, check that box. We are discussing just doing an at-large consideration. So I'd advise see where we're at in a couple of weeks, which August 1's coming around soon enough.
Yeah.
But at the same time, if you see that checkbox, check it off. But better answer is if you decide to not check the box, there is no box, and you want to demonstrate your interest in UVM, we do track it. So
Okay.
you can always reach out to your admissions counselor based on where you're from. Say, listen, I'm from New York City. Chris Perlongo is my counselor. I'd love to be
Mhm.
considered not just for UVM, but the honors college. We can make note of that and make consideration based on that.
Okay, great. And then you mentioned kind of the how the big schools are structured. I come from a small liberal arts college where everyone
Uh,
just applied to the school. It didn't really matter what they put on their application major wise. Everyone was just kind of admitted as a student. But for a larger school where you have these subsection colleges within a university, right? But you did mention an undeclared option. So hypothetically, for a student that's kind of considering two different majors that may not be in that same sub college, what would that process? Would it just be simply them declaring undeclared, or how would that work for someone that might be straddling two different colleges within the overall university?
Sure thing. And I tell students a lot, in admissions, a lot of the answers are always, it depends, right? So it depends on the combination. And I'd say for us, if you're thinking undeclared, because when you apply to UVM, you can put a first choice major and a second choice major, right?
Hmm.
And where it gets tricky and depends is if you're applying undeclared to the College of Arts and Science, all good. You have some flexibility there.
Yeah.
I think where it gets more finite is if you're applying to, say, the College of Engineering is undeclared or College of
Yeah.
Health Sciences. That's where it gets a little trickier because they're both very
Hmm.
different paths. And especially programs like nursing or anything lab sciences, they kind
Yeah.
of want you to start in that major right away. Like nursing is a great example. So I think if
Yeah.
you're undeclared, maybe reach out to an admissions counselor and find out what you're thinking. Because I find students, it's less that they're undecided, it's more that they're undeclared. They know what they want to do, they just have three or four options, right?
Yeah.
So I'd say connect with us. But again, to answer your question directly, I feel like it would depend on the combination overall. You have the
Hmm.
first choice and second choice option. And again, you have to the end of your sophomore year to make that choice.
Okay. And then a couple questions about Burlington, I guess the surrounding area. So I've been to Burlington. It's kind of your funky, kind of quintessential
Yeah,
college town, right? And you mentioned that students live on campus for the first 2 years they're required the first 2 years on campus, correct? And then the last
you got
two,
it.
they're off campus. So what is that experience like for those students wanting to go off campus? Does the university have specific agreements with apartment complexes or landlords, or like how does that work for a smaller college town to accommodate those off-campus students?
Yeah, sure thing. I'm a transplant to Burlington. I've been here about 10 years now after living here from Manhattan. So I know the big city and smaller city, right?
Yeah.
But it's still complex and housing is tight up here. Burlington is a small city, but still a city. So we have a lot of those same challenges and hurdles that we do for both not just residents, but also students too. So the answer is kind of both. When students decide, right now it's about 50-50, but I'm sensing a shift happening because we just opened new residence facilities about maybe a 5 to 10 minute drive from campus in
Hmm.
South Burlington, the next town over. And it's brand
Okay.
new
Yeah.
construction, brand new facilities, brand new buildings. So I get the sense the next few years, I think more students will take advantage of that. But in the current landscape, say now or a couple of years ago, right walk down the hill as I try to get that out. There's plenty of off-campus housing there that is pretty much landlord at large. We also have an
Yeah.
off-campus housing office that can help students that does have a little more formal agreements and some trusted folks that we work with. So
Hmm.
kind of a combination of all the above. Last thing I'll mention is we do have some properties on campus that are technically off-campus housing because they're run by a off-campus provider, but they're actually on campus. Like the Redstone Loft, for example, is a good example. You'll find that on
Okay.
campus. If you ever visit UVM and check out a soccer game, you'll see a big apartment complex right behind the athletics field. That's
Yeah.
Redstone. So you're on campus, just managed by a private property vendor. So there's a kind
Okay.
of hybrid variety of options. And yeah, like I said, with that new construction taking place in South Burlington, I get the sense that more students might take advantage of that. Because a lot of the creature comforts, dining, things to do, coffee shops. It's almost like a little mini campus right off Burlington's campus.
Yeah. And I think it's beneficial for y'all as being a relatively small campus that has a small college town, right? You're not this 40,000 student school that has the population of the town of 40,000. So there seems to be less of kind of a crunch from like a space standpoint when you have a smaller campus coupled with a smaller surrounding area. So,
Yeah, that's just it. I feel like it depends on your perspective where you come from, right? Like I work with students from the New York City area, and for them, it's a smaller city, smaller town, but still enough to do, right? They
yeah.
don't they don't need the hustle bustle. They've lived that life of 9 million people. They want to come to Burlington, but they also don't want to be removed from everything either. They want their culture, they want their food, they want their music, their things to do in the evening, whatever it may be, right? And then the
Hmm.
other perspective is we have students who come from rural Vermont, who for them, Burlington is the big
Yeah.
city.
It's a
So
big
it all
city.
depends
Yeah.
on kind of where you sit, right? But I think for us, we do hit that sweet spot, like you said, of not too big, not too small, plenty of
Hmm.
activities, plenty of things going on. And it does, again, mirror the campus population, especially being an R1 research school. We're on the smaller side with about 10,000, 11,000 undergrads, where you kind of
Yeah.
feel like your name, not a number. It's very cliche, but the city and the university kind of reflect that same mentality, if you will.
Yeah. And then last thing, so I was looking at a map earlier today and I forgot how close y'all are to Quebec, right? I think it's
Yes.
maybe an hour to the border and then an hour and a half to Montreal. I was wondering, are there any specific things that UVM students do with Canada, specifically Quebec, just because of the proximity? Or since it is still an American institution, your alumni, your students still stay in the US for research, internships, and then postgraduate employment.
It's kind of a combination of the above. Speaking on the not postgraduate yet, I don't have kind of quite a handle on that, but UVM has 100,000 alumni throughout the world, right? And I think
Mhm.
for us, Montreal, especially, post-pandemic is starting to come back around. I think pre-pandemic, a very different answer. Folks are going back and forth all the time,
Yeah.
myself included. That has come back for sure. And it's, again, for that student who's looking for more of a major metropolitan city, you got 3 to 4 million people just 90 minutes away in a major area. So for
Yeah.
us, recreational opportunities, internships, work, again, getting more specific, but I think equally for us too, Boston's 3.5 hours away. New York is 5 hours away via drive. The train's about 6.5. So our
Hmm.
students, we do have programs in New York, we have programs in Boston, we have programs around the country where students can take their internship advantages out of Burlington and do places in some bigger cities too. So Montreal is part of that fabric for sure, but also I think it's probably fair to say more students will stay in the states. But especially Boston being a key part, New York being part, but also DC, Seattle, we have alumni all over the world.
Yeah.
Again, kind of making us unique in the sense for a state flagship that we're getting students from all over the country and alumni go back to their homes and really have a great relationship with our students too.
Okay, perfect. So I think that's a good place to end on. So on behalf of Chris and myself, thank you for tuning in.
Right on. Thanks, everybody. Good luck in your college process and let us know if we can help.